Hey guys, like I always said, Namaskara everyone. Andariki Namaskaram, Ellargu Swagatam, and a very warm welcome to Rank Plus J English channel. This is me, your chemistry educator Navomita Bhattacharjee, and today I am here with this particular video. You know, a lot of people will tell you that NCRT is not necessary for your JEE mains exam. But today I am here with I think 12 to 13 questions that I'm going to solve right exactly from NCRT screenshots, with the screenshots being there in the slide, which will exactly show you why you need to study NCRT. And you know, a lot of people tell you that NCRT is only for inorganic chemistry. I also have organic chemistry reactions. I also have physical chemistry problems that are going to be solved from NCRT, everybody, just to let you all know that why you need to study NCRT. So everybody who says that do not study NCRT, that's a misconception, that's a myth, and I want to bust that myth, everybody, today, right away. So without much further ado, let us go and check out our first question. And our first question is, what pressure of hydrogen would be required to make EMF of hydrogen electrode zero in pure water at 25 degrees Celsius? Now I have the screenshot here. Yes, and if you try and read it, everybody, look at this, guys. Look at this. What is written here? Yes. According to convention, a half cell, where am I reading? I'm reading here. According to convention, a half cell called standard hydrogen electrode represented by platinum S H2 H plus is assigned a zero potential at all temperature corresponding to the reaction. The standard hydrogen electrode consists of platinum electrode, blah, 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 and pure hydrogen gas is bubbled through it. The concentration of both reduced, this. Hydrogen gas, this implies, look at it, look at this. This implies that the pressure of hydrogen gas is 1 bar and the concentration of hydrogen ion in the solution is 1 molar. You are not done with this. If you would have just taken a look at this picture, everybody, in this picture, what do you see? Do you see H2 gas at 1 bar, everybody? And that, my dear student, brings you to the answer. What should be the correct answer here? Don't you think that the correct answer should be just one? Option 3. Yes. How did you solve it? Did you need to solve N. Avasti? Did you need to solve MS Chauhan? Did you need to solve any other textbook that you have? No. Deliberately 110%, if you would have studied NCERT, you would have been able to answer this question. Similarly, let us go to the next question. Look at the next question. The next question is the correct sequence of ligands in the order of decreasing field strength. Yes, what do we have? What do we have? This question is from where? Which topic? It is from spectrochemical series of ligands, and this is from your coordination compound. Now take a look at it, everybody. Yes, what do you have? Don't you think that you have S2 minus, you have F minus? Yes, do you? Do you? Yes, you do. Apart from this, look at this. You have H2O here and you have carbon monoxide here. So that means, everybody, that means, everyone, that option A, carbon monoxide being the strongest ligand here, that is carbonyl. This is H2O aqua. This is F minus and then S2 minus. So do you see how you are able to solve this from NCRT? And my dear students, I have the page number and I have the NCRT screenshot. So you can't deny the fact that, ma'am, you're saying it without any proof. You are just, you are just talking out of nowhere. No, I have the screenshot here attached. So you can't even tell me that I am speaking nonsense, right? I'm not. I'm not at all. All right. Now, let's take a look at what will be the decreasing order of basic strength of the following conjugate bases. So here, right here, you have some conjugate bases such as OH minus, RO minus, CH3CO minus, and Cl minus. Now, if you read this, everybody, yes, this is from equilibrium chapter. It follows that as a strong acid dissociates completely in water, the resulting base formed would be very weak. Yes, a strong acid, when it dissociates, it will form a very weak conjugate base. So that tells us that if you have HCl being a strong acid, when Cl minus is dissociated, it is going to form a weak base, everybody. So Cl should be weak. Then you have CH3COOH. So yes, if this dissociates, CH3COO is going to be slightly stronger, right? Of course, it is going to be stronger, right? Now, if you come and take a look at this, yes, similarly, a very strong base. On the other hand, look where I'm studying. Yes, I'm reading it here. On the other hand, a weak acid, HA, is only partially dissociated in aqueous medium, and thus the solution mainly contains undissociated HA molecules. Yes, HA basically means an acid. Typical weak acid are nitrous acid, HNO2, hydrofluoric acid, and acetic acid, CH3COOH. It should be noted that the weak acids are very, very strong conjugate bases. For example, NH2, O2 minus and H minus are very good proton acceptor and thus much stronger bases than H2O. So this tells us that which should be the correct answer. Our correct answer here should be option number 2. Is that right, everybody? Yes, our correct answer should be option number 2. Isn't that right, everyone? Yes, should it be option 2? Should it not be option 2? Option 2 is our correct answer. Is that right, everyone? Yes, absolutely. Chalo, moving ahead, moving ahead. Let me show you the next question. The next question is from coordination compound chapter, wherein they are asking number of complexes from the following with even number of unpaired d electrons. Yes, with even number of unpaired d electron. Now what you can do is, of course, you can spend a lot of time and find the oxidation state, then find how many number of unpaired electrons are there. Or what you could have done is you could have just studied this part here. Take a look at it. Yes, B3 plus has D2, Cr3 plus has D3, all right, but take a look at this. Cr2 plus has D4, Mn3 plus has D4, right? D5 is in Mn2 plus and Fe3 plus, D6 is in Fe2 plus and CO3 plus. So that means, everybody, which are the ones that will have unpaired even number of electrons, everyone? VH2O definitely, CrH2O definitely. But if I take a look at FeH2O6, which is in 3 plus, NiH2O6 3 plus, or CuH2O6 3 plus, they do not have it. So our correct answer here should be option number 1. That is, only 2 complexes here have what? What do they have? They have even number of unpaired electrons. Moving ahead, everybody, let's take a look at it. Moving ahead. Which one of the following molecules has maximum dipole moment? Yes, which one of the following molecules has maximum dipole moment? And just yesterday or day before yesterday, I have taken a session on chemical bonding, so you know how many times this particular molecule have been repeated. NH3 and NF3 has been repeated so many times, and right here it's there. Yes, look at this. The NH3 dipole moment is 4.90 here, NF3 is 0.80. So guys, the correct answer is definitely NH3. Yes, yes, everybody. All right, moving ahead. Next question. Acidity of alpha hydrogens of aldehydes and ketones is responsible for aldol reaction. Now, this is absolutely true. How do I know? Take a look at it. Next screenshot here. Everybody, have a look, have a look. The aldehydes and ketones undergo a number of reactions due to the acidic nature of alpha hydrogens. So, does it make sense? Why did I say true? Yes. Reaction between benzaldehyde and ethanol will not give cross aldol product. That is false. So I think option number 4, statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. That should be our correct answer, everyone. Yes, that should be our correct answer. Look at this. The element which shows only one oxidation state other than its elemental form is, everybody have a look, scandium. Scandium has only +3. What is elemental form? Elemental form means 0 oxidation state. So after 0 oxidation state, the only another oxidation state that scandium can show is +3. Although this would have been true for zinc, but in the options here you do not see zinc, so you have to click on scandium. Yes, you will have to click on scandium. Got it? All right, moving ahead. Next question. Identify the product in the following reaction here. Okay, what do you have? You have a double bond O here, you have a double bond O here, and you have zinc Hg, zinc mercury with hydrochloric acid product. So whenever you have a reaction like this, right, C double bond O, here you take ZnHg, here you take ZnHg with HCl. You know what you're supposed to get? You're supposed to get CH2 plus H2O. Yes, what are you supposed to get? You're supposed to get CH2 plus H2O. Now, if you look at this reaction carefully, what does it look like, everybody? Does it look like this is a Clemmensen reduction reaction? Yes. Does it look like a Clemmensen reduction reaction? Absolutely. So that means this particular part, you know what is going to stay? What is going to stay is this, of course, this benzene ring is going to stay. With this part is going to stay, and apart from that, only till here you will get it. Rest, this part will be removed and this part will also be removed. So that means that our correct answer is option number 4. Yes, option number 4. And guys, my dear student, take a look at it. This is also there in your NCERT, where Wolff-Kishner and Clemmensen reduction reaction both are given right here, everybody. Yes, this is for Wolff-Kishner. In Wolff-Kishner also you get CH2, but with CH2 you get here N2. However, in Clemmensen you get water, right? And both of them, they start with the same thing. However, the reagents are different. In this case, what do you take? You take hydrogen, NH2, NH2 and water. That's your Wolff-Kishner. Otherwise, it is your Clemmensen reduction. So everybody, now do you understand why you need to study NCERT? And when people say that NCERT is not something that you should study, tell them that's a myth, right? Next question, everybody. The molarity M of an aqueous solution containing this. What is the molarity, guys? This is an exact typical question from your NCERT in-text question. Look at this. Number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liter. If you do that, that will give you the answer. So basically, everybody, what are we going to do? We are going to take the given mass, which is 5.85, divided by what is the molar mass of NaCl, 58.5, yes, divided by volume of the solution, which is 500 milliliters. So that means I can write it as 0.5. That means what do I get? 0.1 divided by 0.5, which is going to give me 0.2. And that, my dear student, is your molarity. So option 2 is the correct answer. Look at this. Even if you just solve NCERT in-text question, there is a possibility that you might get through your some of the JEE mains level question as well. Moving ahead, next question. The correct order of first ionization enthalpy values of the following elements is. Okay, all right. This is a clear graph that you have in the periodic properties chapter, right? And you can see here that boron has only 801. That means boron will be considered the first. It is the least amount. Then it is beryllium. Then it is your carbon. Then it is nitrogen. Sorry, not nitrogen. After that, what do you have? You have oxygen here. After that, you have nitrogen. Then you have fluorine, everybody. So come to the question, everyone. What do you all see? What do you all see? Boron should be first. Then it is beryllium. Then it is oxygen. Then it is a nitrogen. And then it is fluorine. Finally, then it is fluorine. Finally. So everybody, what should be our answer? It is a ECA BD. ECABD. So option 2 is our correct answer. See, you guys are able to solve it from NCERT. So guys, those of you who are saying that, ma'am, I haven't prepared anything, I am starting from zero. If I just study NCERT, if I prepare for board examination, can I appear for JEE? Yes, you should. At least appear for the JEE mains first attempt in January. Take it as a mock test, and then you will realize that what you need to do or what you need to study in JEE of April. So if you are at zero, then start with NCERT, prepare for board, make sure that you get the 75% criteria, make sure that you get 75 to 80% in the board examination, and then you can sit for your JEE mains April attempt, everybody. So that would be my suggestion. And with this note, this session is over. Thank you so much. I hope you really like this video. If you like this video, do not forget to share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because this is your new JEE English channel. This is going to be the home for JEE English, everybody. One channel, one stop solution for each exam that you want to prepare for in English. So with this note, tara bye-bye. I'll see you later, everyone. Keep following, stay tuned to it, and we will do as much as we can for you all. See ya, guys.